wants to. So the remaining 17 chapters depending on the first chapter of Bhagavad Gita. Very, very essential. So how this was started in Padma Purana is, one day Mother Parvati came to Lord Shiva and asked, "O Lord, you are well versed with all the scriptures. There is nothing that you don't know in this world. So, and I am very glad that, I know the glories of Lord Krishna, but I wanted to hear the glories of Srimad Bhagavad Gita, which was spoken by Lord Krishna. So I wanted to hear it." Then Lord Shiva said, "The master whom I meditate has given this explanation to Mother Lakshmi." So Lakshmi asked Vishnu one time, what is so special about this Gita and why this is so important, especially the first chapter. So Vishnu explained to Lakshmi in such a way that each and every chapter of Bhagavad Gita has a special significance and special importance. Every chapter has a special importance. And today we discuss about the first chapter. So he said the first chapter, once there was a Brahmana named Susharma. His name is Susharma. See the name? Susharma. That means he is the one who do everything good. But unfortunately, Susharma, everything he does is very bad. All the bad things he do. Even though he born in a Brahmana family, but he never follows any Brahmana etiquette or Brahmana rules, nothing. He never does anything. All he he eats meat and he goes everywhere, he drinks, he quarrel with the people. He never ever behaves like a Brahmana. So he fights with everyone. What he do? Basically, he go and around the nearby bushes or something, grab the dry leaves and the sticks and everything, and sell it. Take that money, go to the pubs and drink the liquor and make all the noise. This is what his daily activity is. One day, when he gathering all these herbs and all these leaves and everything, what happens? There came a snake and bit him or bite him. Then he died right away. Then what happened? After that, because of all his bad deeds, he went to hell. So he traveled, all these hellish planets. Finally, he got a body of a bull. He got a body of a bull. He born as a bull, and as a bull, he was bought by a crippled person. That crippled person using this bull left and right to do all the works. All the works. This bull tried to do as much as possible. One day, this person put so much load on this bull while pulling the cart on the middle of the road. It fell down. It is almost about to die. So it is on its last, last bit of life. So on the verge of death. We can call it as on the verge of death. What happens? This is happened in the middle of the road. So people around came by and everyone start showing some kind of sympathy, pity on this bull. Now, one person, an elderly person, he spoke. He said, if I did any good pious activities, I will give some of it to this bull so that the bull have a good life next life. So by seeing that, another person came forward, he donated. Another person came forward, he donated. Like that, all the people came forward and donated little by little, little by little. Everyone donated. Finally, there came a prostitute standing there watching all of this one. She also felt that, so I have to do something for this bull. She came forward and she said, if at all, if I made any pious activities, that I am giving it to the bull. And immediately what happened? The bull left his body and went to Yamaloka. And it saw the Yamadharmaraja. And Yamadharmaraja spoke to this Atma of this Brahmana, the Brahmana Susharma, and he said, now all of your sinful activities completed. You completed all of it. You get rid of everything because of that one prostitute or the pious activities that credit given to you, whatever she did, that cleared all your debt. Now you are free. Then this Brahmana, again born as a Brahmana. This time he born in a family. He is a very learned person and he sincerely follows everything. Now, because of the Lord's fortune, he is able to remember, sorry, he is able to remember his past life, whatever all he did in the past life. So what happened? In his past life, this prostitute has given the credit and now he is searching for that prostitute. So finally, he found the prostitute and he asked, can you please tell me what pious activities you did and I got rid of all my sinful things. So can you please tell me what you did? Then that lady mentioned, I haven't done anything. All I did is every day I listen to the recitation of my parrot. My parrot recites every day something. She don't know what it is. Every day the parrot recites. Say they both went to the parrot. So the parrot is talking. The parrot is talking. So the parrot, they said, what are you reciting? And how do you are able to do this recitation? What the parrot said? The parrot said, I was once a Brahmana. And I am so proud. I am not caring for anyone. I show my, I show my superiority and I criticize everyone. And I criticize everyone. And then what happened? One day I died and I born as a parrot. As a parrot. And as soon as I born as a parrot, both of my parents have died and I am left alone. And in the nearby ashrama, there are these boys, the boys who are every day, the boys who came for all these, water and these, the stakes and everything, he came. So, sorry, they show pity on this baby bird and they took in and they take to the ashrama and they rise at this parrot. Now what happened? Every day these boys are reciting Bhagavad Gita chapter 1. Every day. Now what happened? This parrot listening every single day the recitation of chapter 1 Bhagavad Gita. After some time, what happens? One thief came and he robbed this parrot. He took away the parrot from them and he sold it to this prostitute. And this is how I end up with this prostitute, and that is what I am reciting everything. Now, to everyone's surprise, what happened? The parrot, the prostitute, and this Brahmana, all the three got liberation, and all the three of them went to Vaikunta. And here especially, why these three people? So, Bhagavatam, there is a beautiful verse where it says, Vasudeva Kata Prashna Pumsam Treen Punatihi. So, whoever asks questions about Krishna, three kinds of people get liberation. Who are the three kinds of people? Pruchakam, What is that? Vaktaram Pruchakam Shrotram. So, whoever is asking questions, whoever is answering, whoever is listening, all the three people get liberated. That is exactly what happened, right? Brahmana asked the question, what is this parrot is reciting? And the parrot explained, and the prostitute listened. All the three people got liberated and went to Vaikuntha Loka. That is the power of this chapter 1. Okay. Now that being said, that mood is set. Now let us recite this first verse today. And this first verse today is the also most underrated verse in chapter 1. As we discussed before, chapter 1 itself is most underrated chapter among Bhagavad Gita, and the first verse is most underrated verse in chapter 1. Why this is so underrated verse? Because this was spoken by Dhritarashtra, and this is one and only the verse spoken by Dhritarashtra. And Dhritarashtra is not so important person in many levels, but that is completely wrong. That is completely wrong. Dhritarashtra, he is teaching so many lessons for us with one single verse. Now let us see what we can learn from this verse. Okay? So please repeat after me. Dhritarashtra Uvacha.
Dhritarashtra Uvacha.
Dhritarashtra Uvacha.
Dharmakshetre Kurukshetre
Dharmakshetre Kurukshetre
Samavetaayuyotsavaha
Samavetaayuyotsavaha
Mamakah Pandavaschaiva
Mamaka Pandavaschaiva
Kimakurvata Sanjaya.
Kimakurvata Sanjaya.
Dhritarashtra Uvacha.
Dhritarashtra Uvacha.
Dharmakshetre Kurukshetre
Dharmakshetre Kurukshetre
Samavetaayuyotsavaha
Samavetaayuyotsavaha
Mamakah Pandavaschaiva
Mamaka Pandavaschaiva
Kimakurvata Sanjaya.
Kimakurvata Sanjaya.
Yes, couple of you can recite.
Shall I try, Prabhuji?
Please, Mataji.
Dhritarashtra Uvacha Dharmakshetre Kurukshetre Samaveta Mamaka Pandavaschaiva Kima Kurvata Sanjaya.
Thank you, Mataji.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Mataji. Anyone else would like to try?
I'll try, Prabhuji.
Yes, please.
Dhritarashtrovacha Dharmakshetre Kurukshetre Samavetaayukshudaha Mamaka Pandavakshaiva Kim Akurvata Sanjaya. Thank you, Prabhuji.
Thank you. Anyone would like to try?
I'll try, Prabhuji.
Yes, Prabhu.
Dhritarashtra Dharmakshetre Kurukshetre Samavetaayuyotsavaha Mamaka Pandavaschaiva Kimakurvata Sanjaya. Thank you, Prabhuji.
Nilma Mataji, would you like to read the translation and purport, Mataji?
Yes, Prabhuji. Dhritarashtra said, O Sanjaya, after my sons and the sons of Pandu assembled in the place of pilgrimage at Kurukshetra, desiring to fight, what did they do? Purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Srila Swami Srila Prabhupada. Bhagavad Gita is the widely read theistic science summarized in the Gita Mahatmya, glorification of the Gita. There it says that one should read Bhagavad Gita very scrutinizingly with the help of a person who is a devotee of Sri Krishna and try to understand it without personally motivated interpretations. The example of clear understanding is there in the Bhagavad Gita itself, in the way the teaching is understood by Arjuna, who heard the Gita directly from the Lord. If someone is fortunate enough to understand the Bhagavad Gita in that line of disciplinic succession without motivated interpretation, then he surpasses all studies of Vedic wisdom and all scriptures of the world. One will find in the Bhagavad Gita all that is contained in other scriptures, but the reader will also find things which are not to be found elsewhere. That is the specific standard of the Gita. It is the perfect theistic science because it is directly spoken by the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Lord Sri Krishna. The topics discussed by Dhritarashtra and Sanjaya as described in the Mahabharata from the basic principle for this great philosophy. It is understood that this philosophy evolved on the battlefield of Kurukshetra, which is a sacred place of pilgrimage from the immemorial time of the Vedic age. It was spoken by the Lord when he was present personally on this planet for the guidance of mankind. The word Dharmakshetra, a place where religious rituals are performed, is significant because on the battlefield of Kurukshetra, the Supreme Personality of Godhead was present on the side of Arjuna. Dhritarashtra, the father of Kurus, was highly doubtful about the possibility of his son's ultimate victory. In his doubt, he inquired from his secretary Sanjaya, what did they do? He was confident that both his sons and the sons of his younger brother Pandu were assembled in the field of Kurukshetra for a determined engagement of the war. Still, his inquiry is significant. He did not want a compromise between the cousins and brothers, and he wanted to be sure of the fate of his sons on the battlefield. Because the battle was arranged to be fought at Kurukshetra, which is mentioned elsewhere in the Vedas as a place of worship, even for the denizens of heaven, Dhritarashtra became very fearful about the influence of the holy place on the outcome of the battle. He knew very well that this would influence Arjuna and the sons of Pandu favorably because by nature they were all virtuous. Sanjaya was a student of Vyasa and therefore by the mercy of Vyasa, Sanjaya was able to envision the battlefield of Kurukshetra even while he was in the room of Dhritarashtra. And so Dhritarashtra asked him about the situation on the battlefield. Both the Pandavas and the sons of Dhritarashtra belong to the same family, but Dhritarashtra's mind is disclosed herein. He deliberately claimed only his sons as gurus and he separated the sons of Pandu from the family heritage. One can thus understand the specific position of Dhritarashtra in his relationship with his nephews, the sons of Pandu. As in the paddy field, the unnecessary plants are taken out, so it is expected from the very beginning of these topics that in the religious field of Kurukshetra, where the father of religion, Sri Krishna, was present, the unwanted plants like Dhritarashtra's son, Duryodhana, and others would be wiped out, and the thoroughly religious persons headed by Yudhishthira would be established by the Lord. This is the significance of the words Dharmakshetre and Kurukshetre apart from their historical and Vedic importance. Thank you, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you, Mataji. So, this is in fact self-evident the way the Dhritarashtra is speaking. But here is a very interesting thing we can understand here is the very beginning of Bhagavad Gita itself is spoken by Dhritarashtra. Dhritarashtra is a blind person. What are we trying to learn from a blind person? Is there anything that we can learn from a blind person? Is there anything that we can follow a blind person? What are we going to gain by following a blind person? Right? So especially here, very significant Dhritarashtra. So what happens is here, the very essential thing here itself. See look at the name of Dhritarashtra. What is the meaning of Dhritarashtra? Anyone know? Anyone have any thoughts, idea of Dhritarashtra? What is Rashtra means? We all heard that Rashtra. What is Rashtra?
State, Prabhuji.
What is it, Mataji?
State.
Rashtramu means state.
Yes, it's a place. It's a place. Now, Dhruta. What is it? Dhruta means he wants to control. So, even though he is a blind person, he wants to be the king and he wants to be the enjoyer. See the name, Dhritarashtra, who wants to control the kingdom and enjoy it. That is why his name is Dhritarashtra. This is on a negative connotation because normally when we say Duryodhana, Dushtabuddhi, Dusyasana, all these names gives us a negative energy, a negative tone it was spoken. But there is a positive side also, right? What is positive side? The one who controls the state is called Dhritarashtra. Earlier, who wants to grab it, now who give good things are making control everything administratively. That is Dhritarashtra. So it has a positive side and a negative side. Many names are like that. For example, Duryodhana. Yodha, Duryodhana, Yodhana means Yodha means a fighter. Duryodhana, a bad fighter. Did any parent will name his son as a bad fighter? That is not the meaning of Duryodhana. It is not the meaning saying that Duryodhana is a bad fighter. No. Whom no one can fight, that is Duryodhana. Is basically, he is such a great fighter, no one can fight with him. That is Duryodhana. See, everything we take in a negative connotation, so the Duryodhana name, it comes as a bad choice, bad thing. Dusyasana, isn't it? Dusyasana. Because Dusyasana, he took off the clothes of Draupadi and everything. We all think that Dusyasana is a bad guy. But what is his name indicating the characteristic? Dusyasana. That means one who doesn't care for the rules or one who controls the rules. So any parent will think that, let me put him as Dusyasana, who controls the rules or who works within the rules. So these names are very significant. What is the name Sanjaya? Anyone know what is Sanjaya? You all know the meaning. What is Jaya? Jaya means what? What is Jaya means?
Victory, Prabhuji.
Yes, victory. What is Sam means? You all know. Sankirtana. Gharshana, Sangharshana.
Together.
Summing up.
Yes, summing up together, everything correct. That is absolutely correct. Sanjaya, complete victory. Complete victory. So in other words, here Sanjaya knows everything. Sanjaya is a direct disciple of Vyadavyas. So he's a very, very scholarly person. He knows everything. So Sanjaya is a well-learned person. So anything he speaks, he gives is 100% accurate, absolutely good. Now what happened? Dhritarashtra, a blind person, asking the wisest man. This is very, very important, very, very essential. That is why the first thing we can learn from this one is seek the seer. We all know that seer, right? Seer means what? Who has seen the truth? Who has seen the truth is called seer. In Telugu, we call it as Tattvaveta, or who has seen the truth of it, or who has seen the Lord. So Sanjay is such person. So Dhritarashtra want to talk to Sanjaya so that Sanjaya can give him the whole narration line by line as if he is having or he has seen with eyes, his own eyes. So the first lesson, we must have a teacher. We must approach a person to understand. So Dhritarashtra approached Sanjaya. That is why in Bhagavad Gita we hear Tatviddi pranipatena pariprashnena sevaya upadekshyanti te jnanam jnaninas tattva darshanaha. They didn't hear the tattva, but they have seen the tattva. That means what? They have seen the Lord. Sanjaya, Vidura, Bhishma, all these great personalities know who Krishna is. They have seen the Krishna, the potency of Krishna, the power of Krishna, they have seen it. So that Dhritarashtra can understand. So the first lesson, we must seek the seer. We must find a guru if we want to understand the science of Krishna. And what is the second thing? Here, if we look at it, the first line itself, Dharma Kshetre. Why he says directly Kurukshetra? Why can't he say Kurukshetra? He added Dharma Kshetre. The place where they are fighting, the Kurukshetra, is prominent for Dharma. What does it mean actually? Because Dhritarashtra has his doubts. Earlier, before to Kurukshetra war, there happened one war. That is, when they are incognito, Duryodhana sent all his army. Karna, Drona, Bhishma, everyone went to where? Virata. The place, Uttara, Virata, this where the Pandavas incognito living there. So Duryodhana know that they are the Pandavas, and he sent all his army to grab their cows. So the country Virata, I forgot the name of Virata country. Anyone know the name of Virata? The country's name? Uh, yeah, it comes to my mind sometime later. We'll see. So I forgot the name. Yeah, it's ringing, but it's not popping up. So there, Arjuna alone subsided Duryodhana's entire army, isn't it? Arjuna alone subsided. So what is the guarantee that now Kurusena can win it? That is not only one time that Pandavas showed their power. The second time what happened? They went to Kamyavan, where they are in exile, They are living in Kamyavan. You all familiar with Kamyavan. Every day you all reading Vrajadhama Parikrama. Vrajadhama Parikrama, we read about Kamyavan, right? So the Kamyavan where Pandavas are living in when they were in exile. What happened? To show the the riches of the opulence of Duryodhana, he came there, and right opposite to the Pandavas, he made a camp, and he's trying to show off his richness there. But what happened? He was fully captured by the Gandharvas, and none of his army could do anything with the Gandharvas, Chitrasena. Then what happened? Again there, Pandavas came and subsided these Gandharvas and make sure the Kauravas got released. That means time and time, it is proven that Kauravas are no match to Pandavas. So what is the guarantee now? So not only they prowess so big, so powerful, so great, and on top of that, they are fighting a place where virtuous rightness is prominent. And Dharmakshetra, this is the place where Indra, Chandra, Surya comes and do their worship of Lord Vishnu. That means this prominence, Kurukshetra place, is so powerful. With a good intention, if we start anything, it will give right results. So what happened? Here, Duryodhana is the one who is doing adharma. So what guarantee is there? First of all, Pandavas are superior in prowess, and second, the place where they are fighting is dharma. Prominent with dharma, so there is no chance that Duryodhana can win. So he has doubts in his mind. With the doubts, what he is asking? He is addressing Mamaka, my children, Pandavas, my brother's children. The way he addressed them, if we look at it, we call it as Kuru dynasty. When it is Kuru dynasty, that means Pandavas are also Kuru dynasty. Kauravas are also Kuru dynasty. Why only Kauravas? The ones who took from Kuru, they are Kauravas, right? Why Kauravas means only 100 brothers? Why not 105 brothers? That means the way Dhritarashtra trying to implicate from the beginning, Kauravas are the lineage of Kuru is only Kauravas, only his children, nothing to do with the Pandavas. They are not Kauravas. The way he trying to separate them. And also, he is not at all interested to share any of the things with them. He is thinking that let them fight and let my children win it. See, he knew he could have stopped it actually, but he didn't want to stop it. Why? He don't want to share anything with Pandavas at all. Even being his, Pandavas brother's, Pandavas father's brother, he could have done something to them. After all, they are, his brother's children. He could have done something to them, but he didn't come forward. So he has bad intentions. Now the question comes, here it is the second lesson is, in spite of this great Bhagavad Gita spoken, explained by Sanjaya, Arjuna changed, every person who have heard changed, but Dhritarashtra didn't change. Why? Dhritarashtra also heard from Sanjaya. Sanjaya is a pure devotee of Krishna. When we hear such a great transcendental science from a pure devotee, Why Dhritarashtra didn't change? Any comments from anyone? Any comments from anyone?
Bad association, Prabhuji, like Sekuni and everybody's his side, and
Bad association, but at the same time, he has good association now, right? He has association of Vidura, he has association of Sanjaya, he has association of Bhishma. He has good association too. Why his good association not influenced him?
He is too envious.
He is too envious? Yes, he is too envious.
He is too attached to his sons, Prabhuji.
He is too attached to his sons. So, if you combined all of that, when Sanjaya is speaking Bhagavad Gita, Dhritarashtra doesn't have the right intention. The right intention. This is very, very vital. Sanjaya is a devotee. What he is speaking is a transcendental literature, transcendental knowledge. Everything is perfect. Yet, Dhritarashtra is unable to change. Why? Because he didn't have the right intention to listen to this one. His intention is basically, tell me something what is happening with my children and their children. So his anxiety, his interest in all of this one is to know about his children. As Mataji mentioned, attachment to his children. As Krishna Pramodini mentioned, he is envy on the Pandavas. What it means? That means he didn't pay attention what Sanjay is trying to explain. So this is second lesson. Tame the mind. Tame the mind. This is where we do chanting every day morning. But what is our intention? When we are chanting in the morning, what is our intention? Our intention must be perfect. Our intention must be centered around Krishna. But if our intention is somewhere, let me finish my rounds, let me finish by this time, let me think of, and one hand chanting going on Hare Krishna, on the other hand you have a cell phone and your WhatsApp messages are keep going on it, right? So you are looking at your WhatsApp messages, your mouth is chanting Hare Krishna mantra, your hand is rolling the beads. Now what is this combination? So your mind is focused on the WhatsApp messages and your hand is doing and your mouth is chanting. This is exactly the example that Dhritarashtra is doing it. Otherwise, Dhritarashtra would have been, cleared by the time Bhagavad Gita is finished. Actually, he would have left, and as soon as the Duryodhana dies, he need not to wait until Vidura comes and give him a class and then he leaves the home. No, he need not to do all that. As soon as the war is over, Dhritarashtra would have left home, give up everything, become a sannyasi. But his intention is not put there. That is the second lesson. And what is the third lesson? What is the third lesson? The very, very important it is place, dharma kshetra, place. There's a beautiful example was given. One time, while in the forest, Pandavas are walking, they are crossing a bridge. Somehow, while they are all crossing, Bhima was left behind everyone. So they all crossed the bridge, went the other side. While crossing, or Bhima left behind, he is still in the other side of the bridge. Somehow, Bhima wants to speak to Dharmaraja about this exile thing. Because of Dharmaraja's playing the gambling, this is all thing happened. So Bhima is not happy. If we look at it from the beginning, Bhima is under the impression that all happening because of Dharmaraja. But he gives so much respect to Dharmaraja, he didn't speak a word about it. Everything is still there, but he is still feeling that it is all right. It is my brother, so it is, he never spoke a single word. Now what happened? All of a sudden, he got inside so much, so much, whatever all he thinking it came out, So what happened? He right away started speaking, cursing Dharmaraja. You are so bad. You tried to prove your thing. You couldn't control all your gambling habits, and because of your gambling habits, today we are here. Here we are. We left everything behind. He starts criticizing Dharmaraja. Give some explanation why you all did that, something like that. He is forcing Dharmaraja to speak. Then what Dharmaraja said? Anyone know what Dharmaraja said? Anyone can guess what Dharmaraja said? No? Dharmaraja said simply, first come cross the bridge. First come this side. I will explain to you. First come this side. So he didn't go the other side. He asked, first Bhima, come to this side, I will explain. Then Bhima slowly walked onto the bridge, come to this side. What happened? As soon as Bhima crossed that bridge, come to this side, his all inner thoughts inside suppressed. And then he realized what grave mistake he did. He fell on the feet of Dharmaraja and begged for his mercy. Oh brother, I don't know what happened to me. I don't know why I spoke like that. I don't have any reason to speak like that. I really don't know. I think it appears like someone possessed me and I am not the person. So please, I beg your pardon. He did. Then what is Dharmaraja's explanation? Dharmaraj said, the place where we walked, or the other side of the bridge, is where the Chandalas are killing the animals, especially cooking and eating the meat. So that entire air is polluted. The consciousness is fully filled with all dirty thoughts, everything. But on this side, this entire land is filled by the Brahmanas, and they are doing yajnas every single day, and everywhere the air is filled with the Lord's name. So this is where. So it is very, very important to protect our consciousness. So it is very important place, time, and kalarha desa kalarha vastuta. Desa kalecha patrecha. So where, which place, which time, whom we are. So this is very, very important. Very, very important. That is why this verse started with Dharma Kshetre. So very, very interestingly, this entire one, um, every single word have hundreds of meanings. There are great speakers. This verse alone, they can speak for 4-5 hours. 4-5 hours without any problem. Why? Because each and every meaning here, or every word has hundreds of meanings. So this is very, very important. So in a nutshell, this is telling about the intention of Dhritarashtra. This is very important to remember, because in the upcoming verses, some place we can clearly understand the intention, what their intention is. They never wanted to compromise with Pandavas. They never wants to compromise with Pandavas. They wants to grab everything from Pandavas. So I will stop it here, and especially this verse set the tone for this entire chapter. What is this tone is set is basically Pandavas, Kauravas are fighting, and Dhritarashtra is trying to tell are the nature of the Kauravas. The Kauravas are the envious people, following adharma and everything, and their intentions he is showing it here. So we will understand in chapter 1 the problem. If we look at it, chapter 2nd to 18th, second chapter to 18th chapter, we never discuss any problem at all. Why? The problem has already been discussed in chapter 1. From chapter 2, it is answer. It is the answer Krishna is giving for the question doubts Arjuna raised mainly in chapter 1. The rest of the questions are follows. That means it's based on the questions in the first chapter. So that is why, even though first chapter is the most underrated chapter, but if we study thoroughly, we can gain a lot. If we all remember it, even in the material world, we were told, if you understand the problem, 50% of the solution you already have in your hand. What does that mean actually? That means majority of the time we don't have the clarity on the question. We don't have a clarity. But if we have a clarity, then it is easy to find the answer. So most important is not finding the answer. Most important is understanding the question, having clarity on the question. So the first chapter is giving that. So if we have patience, if we have interest, and if we go more deep into these meanings, and these meanings will reveal to us the real inner meanings of Arjuna, Dhritarashtra, Sanjaya, when everyone is speaking, what is the real meaning in it. So next class we will see, what else is we can learn actually, because these verses are not something that anyone can pick up a book and read it. We may say that this is all English I can read, and I'm an expert person, I'm a steady person, I did some post-graduation or I'm doctorate, something I can easily understand. No, that's not true. This has a lot of different meanings, and today we don't have much time. We have one more, and in the next class we can discuss why this fourth point, approaching a guru, is so important. Why it is we can understand. Study this Bhagavatam. It should be studied, not read. It should be studied. What is this study means? We will discuss with a nice, wonderful verse where the verse has a different meaning or completely opposite meaning than what it is spoken. Okay? So we will discuss that one in the next class. So I will stop it here, and let's see if we have any comments or questions from anyone.